Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited. Today I'm gonna be unboxing a couple of cactuses I got all the way from California from Torch Cactus. Some beautiful flowering cactuses, Echinopsis, Sex on the Beach, and Tricereus. I forgot the name, but I'm gonna show you when I open it up. Now, right now, it's about 85 degrees out here in South Florida, and I'm gonna freshen up with some nice ice cold sweet watermelon, and we're gonna open up this box. I'm so excited. Oh, nothing like some nice cold sweet watermelon in this hot weather to cool you down. Alright, so here is our order, and this is from Brent Wiggin at Torch Cactus, and we have the invoice right here. Flying Dragon, that's a Tricereus, an amazing big flower, and we have Echinopsis Sex on the Beach, a more compact grower but with beautiful flowers. We'll open this up. So the way Torch Cactus sends their cactus, they just take it out of the pot, leave the soil, and wrap it in paper towel. So now it's pretty much ready to be potted, just a little bit of fresh soil and a little cleanup. These Echinopsis are compact and grow beautiful flowers. I can't wait till we get some blooms. So these Tricereus hybrids, they don't grow huge, maybe 2 to 3 feet, and they have huge 8 to 9 inch blooms. I can't wait to show you guys when this one's in bud. So the sun is really hitting hard. It's early in the morning. We just unboxed those 2 cactuses, and I need some pots, so we're gonna head over to Lowe's to grab a couple of nice clay pots. Now this is one of my pet peeves. These little flowers they put on these cactuses, they just look tacky to me, and you know, that just deters me from buying it. I don't know why they do that. Here's a cute little puntia. So when growing cactuses indoors, you could use whatever pots you want. You control how much water is in the soil. But when growing outdoors, it's vital to use clay. It's breathable and it helps the soil dry out quicker, especially during that rainy season. A lot of these have cracks in them, so I gotta find one with no crack. That's the only downside to the terracotta pots. This one has a little crack on it, but it's not really affecting it. It looks like everyone that came in has some cracks in it. I could use that for the Tricereus. So these glazed pots are really nice, and for cactuses they look nice, and they might be pretty good on the West Coast, but here in South Florida we have a lot of rain and humidity, and these hold moisture a lot longer than the breathable terracotta pots. So this is not a good option. I have used these, and often you'll get root rot. But for like other tropical plants like hibiscus, these work fine out here. So I got my pots and off we go. So for my soil mixture, I start off with coconut coir. I get the brick, soak it overnight, and it comes out like this. And when it dries in the pot, it doesn't cake up like peat moss. I add some sand and a lot of perlite, about 65% perlite out here in South Florida. I need extra drainage with all this rain. And then I use 14-14-14 fertilizer. Mix it all up. Now, if I can find pumice, I would use it. It's very good, but I don't have it out here, and to ship it is very expensive. So the perlite works really good, and I use a clay pot, and it gets it nice and dry quicker.
I'd like to do what I love, but what if I'm not good enough? Split personality.
So I didn't break up all of the roots. All I did was loosen up the soil on the bottom, expose all those roots so those tap roots could go straight down and around. I don't want to disturb the roots too much on this big guy. So just making sure the cactus is centered nicely, because a lot of times you'll put the cactus or your plant in, and then after putting the soil in, you notice it's really off balance. So I like it nice and centered. Unless you're doing like bonsai, sometimes it looks nice to set the tree off to the side to give it a natural look. So we got the cactus in there nice and firmly. Now I like to use a brush to clean the cactus, especially if you're getting shipments in that are bare root and sometimes the soil gets in on them. You just give it a nice light brush, and the more you hit it, it'll come right off and get it nice and clean without having to hurt your fingers with those spines, because then I'll get poked by those thorns. So quick tip, I use this little soft painter's brush. Get it nice and clean while keeping your fingers safe. Oh baby, this is a nice looking Trichocereus right here. Now for the finishing touch, just dress it up with some nice rocks. Now for small cactuses, I like to use gravel or something like sand or little pebbles, but for the bigger cactuses, I like using larger rocks. It also adds weight to the pot for those windy days. You know, these can grow kind of tall, so the more weight in the pot, the better. And that's also a good reason to have a clay pot, just for the extra added weight. It gets windy here in South Florida. So she's looking pretty. Now for the cherry on top. Put the label right here. The Flying Dragon. Now for the Echinopsis. This one, I loosened up the roots a little bit more. The soil was much looser on this one. Get this one nice and centered, and they like the roots kind of tight, and that's why I chose a pot just slightly larger than what it probably was in prior, but not too big. You don't want it to be too big. Now for the other Flying Dragon, that plant, that cactus gets pretty big, so it'll fill that pot out pretty quickly, but these don't grow nearly as fast and tall. So we're gonna center him. So I'm just using my fingers to gently press the soil down, not too hard, but just giving it enough pressure, so it's nice and snug, so the cactus is nice and secure. And now let's clean this guy up. And it looks like that might be a bud right there. That might be a bud. We'll see if that one actually forms and blooms. You know, when you unroot a cactus from its pot while it's in bud and repot it, you could lose the flower, but we might get lucky. I'll definitely keep you guys updated. So for this one, I decided to go with Katina Pink Gravel. I get it at my local nursery, and it looks really nice on the contrast of that beautiful green cactus. So we're just gonna put these in the light shade for about 3 to 4 days, and then up the sun exposure slowly. So for the first couple of days, I leave these cactuses indoors. They've just been potted. You don't want them in the bright sunlight. And then I moved my Trichocereus outside to partial shade, and in a couple of days, full sun. And I leave my Echinopsis by my sunniest window. They get enough sunlight to bloom here and grow, but it won't burn the cactus. So this is a perfect spot for this little Echinopsis. So I had to change my shirt, got a little sweaty potting up those cactuses, but I'm just thankful you guys were here to watch me unbox it and plant them up. Now when they do start growing buds and flowers, I'll definitely make a video to show you guys, and I'll connect the link to this video if you want to come back and rewatch how I potted them up if you want any tips. Now I'm just blessed that I'm able to do these videos and do something I'm passionate about, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Bless you guys.